Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm going to talk to you about studying, and I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for studying, for best studying practice. Straight on, tip number 1, little and often. Okay, and what I mean by that is don't just kind of like plow into a really hard study session for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, because it's not going to be very effective. Your brain, as amazing as it is, can only take so much at one time. So it's best to do say 45 minutes and then plan a break. Time yourself and have a 25-minute break, and at the end of that 25 minutes then go back and carry on with the studying. But make sure you put in those pauses, those breaks, because your brain needs time to recuperate, I suppose, and to kind of get back into the studying zone. All right, so 45 minutes would be a good suggestion, with say a 20-minute break or a 25-minute break, and then go back again and go and keep going. Tip number 2 is to find a good study zone, like a study space. All right, so for example, that could be at home in an office, or that could be in a bedroom or in the living room. Or it could be outside, it could be at a library, for example, or a coffee shop. And where you choose is very, very important, because it's going to get you in the right headspace for studying. So, for example, when I'm studying, I don't study at home. I don't find it very effective to study at home, because I find there are too many distractions with the television or the kitchen, or something like that. So I tend to go to a coffee shop, which I know might sound counterintuitive, because it's going to be quite busy normally and lots of people, but actually what gets me in the studying zone is seeing other people in that same coffee shop with their laptops out. So in my head they're also studying, even though if they're not, in my head they're all studying, and we're all kind of studying together, and I kind of that for me gets me in the right frame of mind. It's also away from home, because home is my relaxing place, right? My kind of just no work. It's just relaxing. So if I try and study in a relaxing place, it's not going to work. So I need to get away from that relaxing place to study effectively. Tip number 3 is to mix it up a little bit. Okay, and what I mean by that is don't just study one thing in one study session in one day, right? Because what that's going to do is your brain is going to get a little bit bored. Think about it like this: if you're watching a TV show, right, and you're binge watching, for example, right, if it's like gripping, that's one thing. But if it's just a normal TV show, after a few episodes your brain's going to be a bit bored, and it's going to be like, right, well, I kind of want something different now. I want to either watch something different or go and do another activity completely, so the brain is going to get a little bit bored if you're just studying the same content over and over again, the same subject. And because it's getting bored, it's not really focusing properly, and it's not actually working as well as you think it might be. So you could do your 45 minutes and you could do your planned breaks and things, but if you're going back to the same content each time, it's not going to be as effective as the first time round. So mix it up a little bit, choose one topic, have a break, maybe choose a different topic, have a break, maybe then go back to the first topic, for example, so you're mixing it up, you're chopping and changing. It's always a really good way to study. And revise as well. I'm talking about all kinds of study. Tip number 4 is to stay nourished and stay hydrated. Okay, so obviously the brain is an organ, and it is very important in terms of everyday life and everything, and it needs to stay nourished and hydrated to work properly. And there are 2 reasons why I say nourished and hydrated. First of all, like I've just said, your brain needs it to function. That's the one thing. That's the kind of the basic answer. But also think about it like this: if you're feeling thirsty in the middle of your 45-minute study session, that's then going to be an unplanned break, which is going to kind of get you out of that study mindset. Or even if you don't take the break, you're going to be thinking about, oh, I can't wait to have a break because I'm going to have a drink. So if you're already hydrated, or if you've got a water with you or something, or you've already eaten prior to the studying, you're not going to be thinking about it. You're going to be focusing on the work, focusing on the revision, and then when you have your planned break, then yes, go and have some more water or a drink or whatever, or some food, so that it's not interfering with your actual study process, the study time. And finally, the last tip number 5, is to switch between learning new material and revising old material. I say old material that you've already learnt, right? Because again, it's using different parts of the brain. One part of the brain is learning new material, creating new pathways, as it were, in your brain, whereas the other type of revision, so you're going over old material, is solidifying those already made connections, right? So for example, from a musician's point of view, if I'm playing scales, I'm not learning scales anymore because I've been doing them for years and years and years, so I'm no longer learning them. But in order to keep those connections from my brain to my arm, etc., I need to keep practicing them and going over. But I can't just play scales. I also have to play new material to build new connections, to create new pathways for my brain to my arms and my fingers and everything. So not only am I practicing scales that I've already learned and I'm revising, but I'm also learning new material, which is going to keep my brain basically on its toes, effectively, and not, again, going back to my previous point, not get bored with the scales. So you want to you want to mix it up between learning new material and revising older material. So those are my 5 top tips for studying. Do give me a subscribe and like, and let me know if there's anything in the comments that you want me to expand on, or any other videos that you want me to make. Happy to do that, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.